Why did the demons ask Jesus for the pigs? We will explore this story from the Gospels, which not only covers exorcism, but also reveals deeper spiritual truths and cosmic battles between good and evil, starting with Jesus' victory over temptations in the desert. This episode unpacks Jesus' first skirmish with Satan, his journey to the Gerasenes, the exorcism of demons into pigs, and the community's reaction. We will uncover theological insights and practical spiritual lessons from this dramatic event. Jesus' journey and encounter. Calming of the storm. Picture this: Jesus and his disciples are on a boat, crossing the Sea of Galilee. It's been a long day of teaching and healing, and they are tired. As they sail, a fierce storm suddenly arises. The wind howls, the waves crash against the boat, and water begins to fill it. The disciples, many of whom are seasoned fishermen, panic. They know the danger of such a storm. Amidst the chaos, Jesus is asleep at the stern, resting on a cushion. In their desperation, the disciples wake him, crying out, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" Jesus wakes up, and without a trace of fear, stands and rebukes the wind and the waves, saying, "Quiet? Be still." Instantly, the wind dies down, and there is complete calm. The once raging sea is now as smooth as glass. The disciples are in awe and terrified, asking each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." This miraculous event is more than just a demonstration of Jesus' power over nature. It sets the stage for what is to come. As the boat reaches the shore of the Gerasenes, Jesus is about to confront forces far more chaotic and destructive than any storm, the forces of demonic possession. The calming of the storm shows not only Jesus' divine authority over the natural world but also foreshadows his authority over the spiritual realm. The disciples, now aware of his immense power, are about to witness an encounter that will further reveal Jesus' mission, and the profound spiritual battle he is fighting. As they step onto the shores of Gerasenes, they have no idea that they are about to witness one of the most dramatic exorcisms recorded in the Gospels, a testament to Jesus' unparalleled authority and compassion. Arrival at Gerasenes. As Jesus and his disciples step ashore, they find themselves in the region of the Gerasenes, a largely Gentile area on the eastern side of the Sea of Galilee. This is a land of rugged hills and limestone cliffs, with tombs carved into the rocky slopes. The landscape is stark and foreboding, reflecting the spiritual turmoil that lurks beneath the surface. The people here are primarily herders, raising pigs, which are considered unclean animals in Jewish tradition. This detail alone sets a unique backdrop for the unfolding events, highlighting the cultural and religious contrasts that Jesus often navigates in his ministry. As they walk further inland, their peace is shattered by the sudden appearance of two men. These men are unlike any others, they are possessed by demons. Their hair is matted, their bodies covered in scars and bruises, from self-inflicted wounds. They wear no clothes and have an almost animalistic presence. These men live among the tombs, isolated from society, driven mad by the demons within them. The local community is terrified of them, having witnessed their violent outbursts and supernatural strength. Chains and shackles couldn't hold them, they broke free from every attempt to restrain them, adding to their fearsome reputation. When they see Jesus, they rush toward him, shouting, "What do you want with us, Son of God? Have you come here to torture us before the appointed time?" Their voices, distorted by the demons, echo across the rocky landscape. The disciples stand back, filled with a mix of fear and anticipation, unsure of what will happen next. Jesus, with calm authority, faces the possessed men. There is no fear in his eyes, only compassion and resolve. The demons recognize him immediately, acknowledging his divine authority. They know they cannot resist his command and are terrified of the judgment he can bring. The stage is set for a dramatic confrontation, one that will not only reveal Jesus' power over the demonic but also his deep compassion for those tormented by evil. This encounter is a poignant reminder of the spiritual battles that rage unseen and the transformative power of Jesus' presence. As the disciples and the townspeople witness what happens next, they are about to see a powerful testament to the liberating force of divine intervention. The exorcism interaction with demons. As Jesus stands before the two demon-possessed men, the demons within them immediately recognize him. This is not a casual acknowledgement but a profound, terrified recognition of his divine authority. The men, under the control of the demons, shout, "What do you want with us, Son of God? Have you come here to torture us before the appointed time?" Their voices are a mix of fear and desperation. The demons know that Jesus holds power over them, power that surpasses anything they have encountered. They are acutely aware of his identity and the ultimate judgment that awaits them. This recognition is a testament to Jesus' divine nature and authority, as even the forces of darkness cannot deny who he is. Knowing that they cannot resist Jesus' command, the demons beg him, "If you drive us out, send us into the herd of pigs." Nearby, a large herd of pigs is feeding on the hillside. The request to enter the pigs is strange but significant. The demons, aware of their impending eviction, seek a new host to inhabit. Their choice of pigs, considered unclean animals in Jewish culture, underscores their corrupt and malevolent nature. They prefer to inhabit anything rather than be cast out into the abyss, a place of torment and imprisonment for evil spirits. This plea highlights their desperation and the chaotic, destructive nature of their existence. With calm authority, Jesus grants their request. He simply says, "Go." Immediately, the demons leave the men and enter the pigs. What happens next is both shocking and dramatic. The entire herd, about 2,000 pigs, suddenly goes wild. They rush down the steep bank and plunge into the Sea of Galilee, where they drown. The sight is chaotic and terrifying, a powerful visual representation of the destructive nature of the demonic forces. The water, which moments ago symbolized tranquility, now churns with the bodies of the pigs, emphasizing the violent departure of the demons. For the townspeople and the disciples, this event is astonishing. The men, once tormented and feared, are now free, sitting peacefully at Jesus' feet, clothed and in their right mind. The transformation is miraculous, a clear testament to Jesus' liberating power. The dramatic drowning of the pigs, however, leaves the onlookers grappling with a mix of awe, fear, and confusion. The event starkly contrasts the liberation of the men with the destruction of the pigs, underscoring the cost of freedom from demonic oppression. This dramatic encounter demonstrates Jesus' supreme authority over the spiritual realm and his compassion for those suffering under its influence. It serves as a vivid reminder of the spiritual battles that rage unseen, and the transformative power of divine intervention. The disciples, witnessing this event, are left with a deepened understanding of Jesus' mission, and the profound impact of his presence in a world fraught with spiritual darkness. Community reaction of pig herders. The dramatic scene of the pigs plunging into the sea leaves the pig herders in shock and fear. They had been tending to their herd, an essential part of their livelihood, only to witness the sudden and violent loss of all their animals. The herders are likely struck by the power of what they have just seen, the authority of Jesus over the demonic forces and the catastrophic end of their pigs. This mixture of awe and terror propels them to act quickly. The herders race back to the town, their hearts pounding and minds reeling. They spread the news of what has happened, describing in vivid detail the encounter with Jesus, the exorcism, and the subsequent destruction of the pigs. Their report is filled with a sense of urgency and alarm, capturing the townspeople's attention. The loss of such a large number of pigs represents a significant economic blow to the community, and the herders' accounts are tinged with fear of the mysterious power that caused this. Town's response: as the news spreads, the entire town becomes agitated. The people gather, anxious and curious, heading to the location where Jesus performed the exorcism. When they arrive, they see the formerly possessed men now calm and in their right minds, sitting at Jesus' feet. While this transformation should be a cause for celebration, the townspeople are overshadowed by the economic implications of losing their herd of pigs. The community's response is a mixture of fear and self-preservation. Instead of focusing on the miraculous healing of the men, they are preoccupied with the economic disaster that has befallen them. They plead with Jesus to leave their region. This plea is not just a polite request but a desperate, urgent demand driven by their fear of further loss. They are afraid of what more Jesus might do if he stays. Their reaction reveals much about their values and priorities. The townspeople prioritize their economic stability over the spiritual healing that has occurred in their midst. The presence of Jesus, while transformative and liberating for the possessed men, represents a threat to their way of life. They are more comfortable with the status quo, even if it includes living in fear of demonic forces, than embracing the radical change that Jesus brings. This incident reflects a broader theme seen throughout the Gospels, the varied responses to Jesus' ministry. Some, like the healed men, embrace Jesus and his transformative power, recognizing the liberation and new life he offers. Others, like the townspeople, are threatened by the changes he brings, clinging to their familiar, albeit flawed, ways of life. The townspeople's plea for Jesus to leave highlights the human tendency to resist change, especially when it comes with a cost. Their fear of economic loss blinds them to the greater spiritual healing and freedom that Jesus provides. It's a poignant reminder of the choices people make when confronted with divine intervention, whether to embrace the change and the new life it offers or to retreat into the comfort of the familiar, even if it means continuing to live in bondage. As Jesus prepares to leave, the healed men beg to go with him, a stark contrast to the townspeople's rejection. Jesus, however, instructs them to stay and testify to their healing, emphasizing the importance of witnessing to the transformative power of God in their own community. This final act underscores Jesus' mission, to bring healing and liberation, even when it is met with resistance and fear. This part of the story invites viewers to reflect on their own responses to divine intervention and change. Are we like the townspeople, afraid of losing our comfort and stability, or like the healed men, eager to embrace and testify to the new life that Jesus offers? The challenge is to prioritize spiritual healing and transformation over the temporary securities of our earthly existence. Theological insights: demons' acknowledgement. The moment the demons encounter Jesus, they recognize his divine authority, a recognition that is both immediate and profound. Their exclamation, "What do you want with us, Son of God? Have you come here to torture us before the appointed time?" reveals several critical theological insights. Firstly, this acknowledgement underscores Jesus' identity as the Son of God. Even the forces of darkness cannot deny his divinity and supreme authority. This recognition highlights the cosmic hierarchy in the spiritual realm, where Jesus stands above all, including the most malevolent spirits. The demons' fear is palpable. They know Jesus has the power to command their fate, reflecting the broader spiritual battle between good and evil. Secondly, their fear of impending judgment reveals an awareness of their ultimate destiny. The phrase "before the appointed time" indicates that the demons are conscious of an eschatological timeline, a future moment when they will face final judgment, and be cast into eternal torment. This anticipation of judgment aligns with biblical prophecies and teachings about the end times, where Jesus' return will herald the ultimate defeat of evil. The demons' recognition of Jesus' authority, therefore, serves as a powerful testament to his role in the grand narrative of redemption and judgment. It highlights the inevitability of divine justice and the temporary nature of evil's reign. For the onlookers, both in the biblical account and today's readers, this interaction underscores the reality of spiritual warfare and the assurance of Jesus' victory over all evil forces. Jesus' response to demonic plea: when the demons beg Jesus to send them into the herd of pigs, his response is both strategic and revealing. By granting their request, Jesus demonstrates his authority and sovereignty, even over the requests of demonic forces. This act can be contrasted with his earlier refusal of Satan's temptations in the desert, providing deep, theological insights. In the desert, Satan tempted Jesus to misuse his divine power for personal gain, to perform miracles for show, and to bow down for worldly dominion. Jesus refused these temptations, emphasizing his commitment to God's will and his mission. His refusals highlight his rejection of any form of compromise with evil, and his dedication to the path of humility and obedience. However, in this encounter with the demons, Jesus' acceptance of their proposal to enter the pigs serves a different purpose. By allowing the demons to enter the pigs, Jesus accomplishes several things. Demonstration of authority. 1. Jesus shows that even in their requests, demons are subject to his command. 1. This act reinforces his supreme authority over all spiritual beings, both good and evil. Revelation of destruction. 1. The subsequent drowning of the pigs vividly demonstrates the destructive nature of demonic forces. 1. This visible act of destruction provides a stark contrast to the healing and restoration Jesus brings, highlighting the stark difference between his mission and the chaos wrought by evil. Strategic witness. 1. By permitting the demons' request and the resulting spectacle, Jesus creates a scenario that draws the entire community's attention. 1. The dramatic event ensures that his power and authority become widely known, setting the stage for further ministry and witness. Avoidance of greater harm. 1. Jesus' action prevents the demons from entering other humans, sparing more individuals from possession and suffering. 1. By redirecting them to the pigs, Jesus mitigates further human harm, showing his compassion and strategic wisdom. In accepting the demons' plea, Jesus also subtly reveals the futility and temporary nature of demonic power. While the demons seek to avoid immediate destruction, their choice leads to an equally catastrophic end, symbolizing the inevitable defeat of evil. This contrasts sharply with Jesus' ultimate victory, and the eternal life he offers. Thus, Jesus' response to the demonic plea aligns with his broader mission and purpose. It contrasts with his desert temptations by showcasing his control and strategic use of divine power for the greater good and ultimate demonstration of his kingdom's values. This incident encourages believers to trust in Jesus' authority and the certainty of his triumph over all evil, reinforcing the hope of final redemption and justice. Lessons and symbolism. Lessons from the incident. The exorcism of the demon-possessed men in Gerasenes carries profound lessons and symbolism that resonate through the ages. The immediate and most obvious lesson is the liberation of the two men. These men had been living in torment, isolated from their community, and possessed by a legion of demons. Jesus' intervention frees them, restoring their humanity, dignity, and ability to rejoin society. This powerful act of liberation underscores Jesus' role as a savior and healer, one who has the authority to free individuals from the most severe forms of spiritual bondage. The pigs, into which the demons are cast, symbolize uncleanness and the destructive nature of evil. Pigs were considered unclean animals in Jewish culture, representing impurity and separation from God. By allowing the demons to enter the pigs, Jesus visually and symbolically removes the uncleanness from the men, casting it away from human habitation and into a chaotic demise. The dramatic drowning of the pigs in the sea reinforces the idea that evil leads to destruction, highlighting the stark contrast between the life-giving power of Jesus and the deathly nature of demonic forces. This incident also teaches that true liberation often comes with a visible, sometimes unsettling, cost. The townspeople witness the pigs' destruction, a significant economic loss, which symbolizes the disruptive yet necessary nature of true spiritual cleansing. The community's reaction, prioritizing economic stability over spiritual health, further emphasizes the lesson that material wealth should never overshadow the value of spiritual freedom and well-being. Spiritual implications. Another critical lesson from this incident is the expansion of Jesus' mission beyond Jewish territories. The region of the Gerasenes was primarily Gentile, and Jesus' deliberate journey there signifies his inclusive mission. This act foreshadows the global scope of the gospel, breaking down cultural and ethnic barriers. Jesus' authority and compassion extend to all people, regardless of their background. His willingness to cross geographical and cultural boundaries highlights his universal lordship and the inclusive nature of his message. By performing this miracle in a Gentile region, Jesus demonstrates that God's kingdom is not limited to a specific ethnic group, but is open to all who seek liberation and salvation. This extension of his mission challenges the prevailing notions of his time and sets a precedent for the early Christian church's mission to the Gentiles. It reinforces the message that no one is beyond the reach of God's love and saving power. The varied reactions to Jesus' miracle in Gerasenes provide a valuable reflection on individual responses to divine intervention. The townspeople, despite witnessing a powerful act of liberation and healing, choose to ask Jesus to leave. Their fear of further economic loss and disruption reveals their priorities and resistance to change. This response contrasts sharply with the reaction of the healed men, who, now free from their torment, desire to follow Jesus. This dichotomy highlights that opposition to Jesus is often based on personal priorities and fears rather than ethnicity or cultural background. The townspeople's rejection of Jesus reflects a broader human tendency to resist divine intervention when it threatens existing comforts and securities. It underscores the importance of evaluating one's values and priorities in light of spiritual truths. The healed men, on the other hand, symbolize a positive individual response to Jesus' transformative power. Their desire to follow him signifies true discipleship, marked by gratitude and a willingness to testify to his liberating power. Jesus instructs them to stay and witness to their community, emphasizing the role of personal testimony in spreading the gospel. This teaches that those who experience divine transformation are called to share their stories, becoming agents of change and hope in their own communities. This part of the story invites viewers to reflect on their personal spiritual journeys. Are we like the townspeople, clinging to our material and societal norms, or like the healed men, embracing and proclaiming the new life Jesus offers? The challenge is to prioritize spiritual healing and transformation over the temporary securities of our earthly existence. It calls for a personal commitment to follow Jesus and witness to his power, regardless of the cost or disruption it may bring to our lives. In conclusion, the exorcism at Gerasenes is rich with lessons and symbolism. It teaches about the liberating power of Jesus, the inclusive nature of his mission, and the importance of individual responses to divine intervention. It challenges believers to evaluate their priorities, embrace spiritual transformation, and testify to the life-changing power of Jesus. This incident remains a profound reminder of the ongoing spiritual battles and the ultimate victory of God's kingdom. As we reflect on the dramatic exorcism at Gerasenes, we're reminded of Jesus' supreme authority over both the natural and spiritual realms, his inclusive mission that transcends cultural boundaries, and the profound impact of individual responses to his power. This story challenges us to evaluate our own priorities and embrace the transformative liberation that Jesus offers. Thank you for joining me on this journey through one of the Bible's most compelling stories. Remember, Decode Vale is here to guide you through the profound and the mystical. Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the depths of your faith.